What's up, everybody? This is Rob Shack. Hope y'all are doing well today. So I'm going to be going through, I don't remember what part I'm on, honestly, with my forward mirror dash comparison, speed comparison in Gran Turismo 3, but this is whatever part it is. I can't remember. It'll be in the title. I just wish I could say it to make it look better. But what I've been doing is going through all of the cars in Gran Turismo 3 and doing the forward mirror dash with each one, and they're all max tuned, and all the the springs are low and the ride height's lowered and all that, and I've been just doing that. It's been fun, and it's been very interesting to see how fast these cars are on the straight line and off the line, and how some cars are unexpectedly really fast. That was the Acura NSX. I don't know which Acura NSX that is because there's two of them and they don't give the dates. They're dated differently, but you don't know that unless you go into the... I don't even know how people know. I think people are just really good with cars because they can tell which Acura NSX is which, given the names are the exact same. Same with the Miata MX-5s. There's two of them in this game, and I don't know which one's which. So that was an Acura NSX. We're moving on to the Lancer Evolution 4 GSR. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. I didn't say that at the beginning, but it's okay. Just got my coffee here next to me. So yeah, what I've been doing is, and this is the same tune setup I've done with the max speed test on my channel 2 years ago. Gosh, can't believe that. But I just wanted to do a speed comparison off the line because some cars are really fast in a straight line and really fast right at the beginning, and they slow down a lot. So I was kind of just curious about how fast everyone could do. And yeah, as you can see from I just scrolled through the top list there. There's actually a lot of cars at the top at this point that I wouldn't think would be there. And so I think that's kind of interesting. That's kind of the whole point of why I'm doing this, is it's interesting to see what cars are really quick off the line, because sometimes, well, usually it's not the same. Usually a car that's quick off the line doesn't necessarily doesn't guarantee that it'll be one of the fastest cars in a top speed situation. So it's cool. Moving on now to the Lancer Evolution 7 rally car prototype, a car that's not even in any games anymore, I don't think. I think they stopped putting this car in games because I don't think it ever really existed. This car never really happened. They thought about making it, or they did, or they didn't, or they just made the Evolution 7 and then Gran Turismo never got the rights to it. But this is that weird car that you only see in, I think, 3 and in concept, but it did really well, and it's the fastest car on the list right now. It's the first car to break 11 seconds on the 400-meter dash, so that's pretty good. It's very quick off the line. A lot of rally cars are really good in this context. That's kind of another reason why I'm doing this, is I want to see if at a 400-meter dash, what rally cars can still beat race cars. That's basically what I'm going for, and then throw in a couple road cars while we're at it. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. It's been fun. I like this game because there's enough cars in it to do stuff like this, but there's not too many cars where that it's an overwhelming concept to like do a max speed test of every car. I'm still doing it in Gran Turismo 6, but and that's taken like 2 years to get every car done in that. But this was the Acura Integra, and it really sucked, honestly. That was really bad compared to the contrast of the Evolution that was right before it. But again, that's a front wheel car. It's not going to be very good compared to all-wheel drive and super lightweight cars. So, but I still love the Integra Type R. It's a good car, very good car. Now we're on to the Toyota Celica GT4 ST205. How come they never put... I'm assuming there was a GT4 on the Celica, the newest one, but I feel like they never made that, maybe. Did they? If anyone knows why there's not a Celica GT4 equivalent of the most recent Toyota Celica, let me know, because I've wondered that for a long time. But we're using the special orange Toyota Celica GT4. I think this is actually a prize car because I think it's a special color. And it did pretty good. Under 12 seconds. I don't know if that's going to place. Okay, it did. But still really good. And so what I'll do in this video is I've basically been cutting these into 20-minute segments because I don't want to do it all at once. I want to have progression as I think of ideas and as I think of things to say. So that's why I do this. Now we are moving on to the Acura NSX. This is the closed top one, or the hard top one, as opposed to the soft top of the other one. But again, I don't know the dates of which one is which. I'm pretty sure one is a 91 Acura NSX and the other one is a 93 Acura NSX. But I don't know which one's which. And I'm pretty cool with that. So, they look good. I just always have such good things to think about with Gran Turismo 3. This is such a great game. It ages so well. I mean, given that it's a game that came out in 2001, I mean, look at how good this game looks. I mean, it's insane. And that Acura, I think, lost to the Celica. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, it beat the Celica. Okay. But that Celica was quick, y'all. That Celica was quick. It's proof. It rivaled an Acura NSX in a 400-meter dash, and that's saying something. So, yeah. We are moving on now to... Let's see what we're going on to. This is the Nissan 240SX Fastback Type X. Mouthful of a name. And it's one of those iconic... There's a lot of SXs in life, but I know that the 240SX is probably the fastest one. I can't remember, though. I mean, there's also the Sil 80, but I don't think that's in this game. Oh, did I just pick the Acura again? I did. I never actually changed my car. I'm going to leave that in there. It's fine. I could cut that out, but why would I do that? All right, so we're going to stick with the 240SX. I thought I got into the car, but apparently I didn't. I must have hit back. But, yeah, so 240SX, Fastback Type X. It's a good car. I think it's... I don't know, it looks cool. I think I like the Sil 80 more. I like the front of the, I like the front of the Sil 80. I like the Silvia's front compared to this version, because this is very... I mean, the pop-up lights is such a dated look now, but the back of this car still looks sick. So I feel like the Sil 80 to me is my favorite of these cars because of that. So it did terrible, but that's okay. Oh, can I just close it? Okay, there we go. All right. Well, that's what I like about this is you get to start the slow end, kind of see what cars come up. Because I'm fascinated by what slow cars are fastest in this game. Like slow cars, quote unquote, that are not as effective. Now we're on to the Silvia Ks S13. Wait, there's two of them? Oh. Well, that's weird. How different are these cars? Oh yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. Okay. Well, we're going to do the 2000cc one first, and then the 1800cc one next. Surprised that they put those cars are basically identical. It's really interesting. Well, they did that with a couple of other cars in this game. I mean, I've already talked about the Miatas and the Acura NSXs. So they put duplicate cars in this game. I mean, they do it later a lot more, but in this game, it's more of like the highlights, you know. But we're doing the Nissan Silvia, and again, another car that kind of sucks given its horsepower, but it's because the Silvia K is, you know, a much slower car. So for it to have 485 horsepower is kind of nuts, so it's not used to that. So I don't really blame it, and I'm sure I could do a crazy gear ratio tuning thing that would make it perfect, but I'm just kind of keeping the same standard here. My goal is to see what cars are good when you just do a basic tune. I mean, I'm not the most expert version of somebody who can do a lot of gear ratio tuning, so if someone wants to give me ideas, I'm all in. But actually, I'm gonna not do this just yet. This car needs its oil changed. I just saw that. I don't know what race I used this for that would require it to need an oil change, but apparently that might actually change their stats, because their stats were the same, and now there will be an increase for the Silvia Ks. But let me make sure I'm not passing a bunch of other cars now because its power was messed up. Yeah, see, there we go. So I'm going to go back and do the 240 SX Ks Aero, and this is the S14 Silvia as well. I think it's the same actual car, it's just named differently in whatever region you're playing it in. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, I always think I mention this about every once in a while on my videos, but I wish that when they did this game, they had a couple duplicate cars, which I liked. But I think they could have done it a little bit more just to kind of give some more diversity to cars in this game. Like, I think they could have added in, the Sard Supra and the Calsonic Skyline from Gran Turismo 2 in this game. Basically use the same model and then just change up a couple things and make it work. I'm surprised they didn't do that because it would have been really easy given that they already created like all those cars are in this game as it is. So like I'm surprised that they wouldn't have done that. Moving on now to the C West Razo Silvia. This is one of those kind of weird cars that doesn't really fit in any place. It's not a rally car. It's kind of like the Apex. What's it called? That MRS race car. I can't remember what it's called, but that thing. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think they could have done that more in this game. I think they could have it would have been really easy for them to just add in the Twitter GT1 with the 98 design, add in the R390 GT1 with the cool red and black paint scheme. I think that stuff could have been in there and it would have been really cool. I've always wanted to see that black and red R390 GT1 from 97 in one of these games, but they have not brought it back since GT2, and I really wish they would. Or at least for GT Sport, what they need to do is bring back the R390 G98 and then add as a paint scheme the 97 one. Like add that livery back because I just like that livery. It's sick. We're now onto the Toyota MR2 GT-S. Kind of just talking over this while I do it. And just, y'all can see the menus as they shift. I don't really need to explain all that. But yeah, like I think that's something they could have done with GT3, and that's like the only gripe I ever have with this game is they just could have added in a couple more cars that were the easy ones to add in. Like they could have added in. I always mention the Lupo road car because they had the Lupo Cup car, and they could have added the Ray Brig NSX from '99 and the Sard from '99 and the Calsonic from '99. All the JGTC cars from Gran Turismo 2 that they didn't add back, they could have easily just added in and had them in there. And even if you add the date to them, like you could have just done that. It wouldn't have been too bad. So I'm just like, I always laugh when I think about that because I'm like, they could have just had such easy times to be able to add in like 50 other cars. It would have been very duplicate heavy and people would have called them on it. So it was going to happen either way. But I'm like, at least it wouldn't have looked it wouldn't have looked as barren. And they cut a lot of cars, and I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they cut the Lancia Stratos in this game, but they did. I don't know why they did that. And I don't know why they cut the GTR M Spec and the... Well, I think I can understand why they cut the soft top Elise and all that, but that's just because they didn't have interiors in the cars yet. But yeah, they had a lot of cars that they could have thrown in. But even if it was just the road cars of race cars, they could have done that, Now who are we on to? We are on to the Super Autobacs Apex MRS. This is the car I was thinking of earlier. It's like the similarity to the C West Razo Silvia. It's like this, not a rally car. It's like a touring car, essentially. It's not in the version. It's like a unique. It's not a JGTC car, I don't think. I just don't think it has enough power to be in that demographic of car. I don't know what you call that. Class of car, sure. It's more like a rally car, but not actually a rally car, but it looks cool. It's a good look for the MRS, but I still never really liked the MRS because I thought the MR2 was so much cooler, but I think it just won everything. Yep, it did. So I regret insulting it because now it's the best car on my list. So we'll see how long it takes for that to get taken away. 10 seconds and 400 meters in 10 seconds is pretty good. So we are moving on now to the Renault Clio Sport race car. It's a good car as well. Hopefully, we'll see. It'll probably be pretty light off the line because it's a. This is more of a JGTC car, but I don't think it technically counts as a JGTC car because it's a Renault. It's French, but it kind of has that power that kind of matches that a little bit more. So I'm not really sure what races the Renault Clio has been in history, but this car's like been in every single Gran Turismo since like they can possibly add it. So it's been in something. It has to be something. All right, I got 8th. That's what's up. All right, now we are moving on to. This is the Mines Lancer Evolution 6 GSR. Yeah, see, that's another thing. They had the Mines Evolution 6 in this game. They had the Mines Evolution 5 in Gran Turismo 2, and they didn't. They look so similar, and that's another car where I'm like, y'all could have thrown in the Mines Evolution 5. Wouldn't have been hard. And you could even throw in the Mines Skylines, like the R32 and the R33. They only had the Mines Skyline R34 in this game. One of the things that I was really bummed about with Gran Turismo 3 was that they took out a lot of the tuners. In GT2, there were so many tuners, and there were so many cars under the tuner brands in the game, and they just took all of them out. Like, there were so many. Like, Tommy Kyra had like 7 cars, and a lot of them were based on cars that were already in the game. And so I'm like, you could have just kept them. They didn't even bring them back for GT4. They just like removed so many cars, and I just don't know why they did that. So now we're on to the Mazda RX-8. I think this is that like Concept I, because this car is in GT4, but it kind of has a different name. The RX-8 wasn't out yet when this game came out, so this is just a concept. I'm pretty sure this is the RX-8 Concept I, and then they eventually had a Concept II, and they're both in GT4, which I always love when they throw the concept cars into games, so I have no beef with that. I think it's really cool when concept cars are in games, because especially if they end up removing the car later, because then they're like, well, we have the real car now. Then it's like this unique like car that's only available for like some of the Gran Turismo games. But I like that they kept the concept RX-8 in the games till 6. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So now we are going to be on to the Ford Escort rally car. This will probably be a really fast one, and hopefully the fastest, because it's got the most horsepower of any rally car I've gotten so far, and it's a rally car, so it'll probably be really quick off the line. I hope I'm not wrong as I say that. But we'll do a couple more cars, and then we'll call it. But yeah, the Escort, man. Yeah, they could have added the Escort. I remember that. That was another car. They never brought the Escort road car into the games. They even teased it in GT2 in a demo, and then they never even brought an Escort into any of the games. And I'm like, just throw the Escort in as a road car, and then you're good to go. That's an extra car, and that is a real car in real life, you know? So let's do something about it. But it's okay. I'm not too bummed about it, because this is still one of my favorite games of all time. So here's the Nissan Silvia Spec R-Aero. It's a good car. This is like, I think the fastest Silvia that was ever made. That's like a road car, but they haven't made a Silvia in forever. I would love if they brought the Silvia back. That'd be kind of interesting. The S15 has aged pretty well. The back has aged not the best, but I think it still looks pretty good. The front looks good to me, but that's just my opinion. Still a really good looking car, given that it's, 20 years old. Doesn't feel like it's 20 years old. Didn't do very well in the thing either, though. So I'm gonna do one more car. I don't know who it is yet, and then I'll go show the list of all my cars I've got going on in here. This is the Subaru Legacy Touring Wagon GTB, which is probably not going to do very well. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching the video. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. I just kind of have been rambling. These videos are just kind of me sharing some thoughts about the game and about life and whatever. So I hope y'all have enjoyed it. Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and enjoy. I hope y'all have enjoyed the video. So I'll go through and show the I'll go back and show all the cars as they're at the top 10 list now, and we'll just kind of see what's going on here. So the first one, of course, was the Escort rally car. It's going to be a lot of rally cars for a long time because the rally cars are so good in this game. It's pretty much every car now. Then we have the CUS Razo, Clio. The only road car I think right now is the New Beetle RSI, if I'm seeing that. Yep. The New Beetle RSI is the only car that's a road car on this map, on this lineup right now. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, hope this was fun. I'll keep going through it, and I think it's in 2 weeks I'll make another one. So peace.